Our verse today is James chapter 2, verse 9. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin and are convicted by the law as transgressors. In chapter 2 of the letter of James, the author addresses the question of partiality. He begins with a practical example of welcoming a wealthy, well-dressed person into the Christian assembly, probably the church, and treating a poor, shabby-dressed person in a derogatory way, neglecting that poor person. That is an attitude of partiality that the author of James condemns as a sin. In our verse, we like to focus on the meaning of partiality and how it relates to breaking the law, that is, the Ten Commandments. The Greek word for partiality is prosopolepsia. This word also means prejudice or favoritism or even nepotism. To be prejudiced means that someone has a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience against another person. It is often because of what we have heard or not verified or judgments we have formed from a distance. We could be acting from falsehood because they are not based on facts. And the 8th commandment says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness." In other words, do not tell lies. Prejudice leads to judgmentalism, a form of killing the other person within our hearts. That is contrary to the 5th commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." Showing favoritism means giving unfair preferential treatment to one person or group at the expense of another person or another group. This action segregates and neglects the other person or group even when they are supposed to have such opportunity. In other words, we are stealing from them. Nepotism is that practice among people of influence or power of favoring their relatives, friends, or people from the same tribe or the same social group. They give them opportunities to the detriment of other people who may even be more qualified. The sin of partiality, therefore, goes against at least 3 commandments that we have mentioned. These actions of showing partiality through prejudice, favoritism, or nepotism amount to degrading another person, which is a form of killing. Judgmentalism amounts to killing the other person at the heart. In the same way, when one person is refused a favor, the person can feel less of themselves. By treating people that way, we kill them and make them feel less of themselves. Partiality also breaks the 7th commandment because we rob one person to give to another. And an attempt to defend our sense of judgment against people may also lead us to tell lies and break the 8th commandment. The law is unambiguous on partiality. It says, "You shall not be partial in judgment. You shall hear the small and the great alike. You shall not be intimidated by anyone." Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 17. Also read Leviticus chapter 19 verse 15 and Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 19. Christians should be examples of impartiality in the world. Unfortunately, we exhibit these traits of partiality sometimes consciously or unconsciously. Our verse calls us to greater sensitivity to other people, especially those not from the same race, tribe, or status. Lord, help us to see every other human being as another brother and sister belonging to the same family of God. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a wonderful day.